Welcome to our channel, and thank you for logging on. Today, I will walk you through the usage and care of your Zenith Defy Classic. This is an automatic winding watch that uses the action of the wrist in conjunction with the case back eccentric mass to energize the mainspring barrel. But should you wish to wind the watch up to its maximum rated power reserve of approximately 50 hours, simply take the crown in its first position, flush to the case, and start turning in a clockwise direction. 20 to 30 turns will be sufficient to start the watch running, and at that point you can set the time, set the date, and wear the watch. It will wind itself. But if you wish to wind to the maximum of 50 hours, simply continue turning until you hear a click or tick from within the case. That's the bridle style mainspring slipping within its barrel. It's your audible signal that the watch is fully wound. You cannot accidentally overwind this watch. Now the timepiece features a stop seconds function, which I will demonstrate now. You pull the crown out, 2 stops from flush to the case, and you'll note that the seconds hand is arrested. Let's say where I am, it is 6:35. Okay, well here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up a known accurate reference time, such as an online atomic clock, and I'm going to set the same hour, and I'm going to set the next nearest minute. So it's always important that before you set the time, if the watch is being reset after stopping, that you figure out where you are in the 24-hour cycle. So I just rolled through 12 and the date didn't change. So I know, for example, I'm looking at 2 p.m. right now. So let's say it's 6:35 p.m. where I am. So I'm going to set the correct hour, and my atomic clock is telling me 6:35. I'm going to set my watch to 6:36. I've got the seconds hand stopped at 12. I've set the watch to the next nearest minute. I wait for my reference time to catch up. Tick, tick, tick. Suddenly everything matches. I push the crown back in. Now I've synchronized my watch to a known accurate reference time. Again, government-maintained atomic clocks online are your friend for setting precisely. The watch features a stop seconds mode, which we just explored, and a quick set date, which is exceptional because unlike most brands which feature a unidirectional quick set date, the Zenith Elite caliber actually has the ability to quick set in 2 directions, so whatever gets you to the correct date more quickly is permitted. However, keep in mind that you should never use this quick set date function between the hours of 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., as this is the period during which the watch is automatically jumping its date. And it takes a couple of hours because the watch would run slow if it jumped the date immediately. So in order to keep the watch timing correctly, the date jump is spread over several hours. It builds up and it jumps. Don't use the quick set during this period, 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., because doing so would crash the movement and cause considerable damage to the watch. So roll through the date change so you know where you are in the 24-hour cycle, and if you must change the date in the middle of the night, the best thing to do is simply manually roll the watch through midnight and then out of the danger zone. Once you're out of the danger zone, then you can use the quick set. There are 3 primary areas of hazard to consider when owning and using your watch: water, magnetism, and shock. Now this watch is water resistant to 100 meters, which is sufficient for almost all aquatic activity. However, it's important to remember that leather, as featured in the strap, is a natural porous material that is never water resistant. So put the watch on a full water resistant Zenith band. They have full rubber available, for example, before exposing the watch to aquatic use. And if the leather should become wet, dry it quickly. The timepiece, 100 meters water resistant, nevertheless needs your help to avoid accidental drowning. Always keep that crown pushed down. Don't wind it, don't pull it out, don't attempt to set or energize the watch, not just while it's submerged, that goes without saying, but don't attempt to use any of the crown functions while the watch is still wet. Treat a wet watch like a submerged watch. Dry it before using the crown functions. And finally, water resistance, unlike mechanical specification, is not a static feature of a watch, and over time, as seals age and lubricants degrade, the watch will be relatively less water resistant than when it left the factory or its last service. Therefore, Zenith recommends, at least on an annual basis, having the watch water tested, dry water tested, and this is a free service, at your Zenith factory service center or authorized dealer. Should it be necessary, this is also a good time to have total condition of the watch checked: cosmetic, water resistance, and chronometric. It may be time for a full service. We'll discuss that down the road. Let's talk about magnetism. Unlike water, which can cause grievous damage and expensive damage, magnetism can be reversed fairly easily, but it's ubiquitous and it's unseen. You'll find it in powerful standing magnets such as speakers and subwoofers, including the speakers embedded in the keyboard of your laptop. You'll find it in the closures of wallets and purses and refrigerator doors. You'll find powerful electromagnets created by wiring harnesses, wiring looms, or personal devices. All of these can create a magnetic flux that will ultimately have the effect of magnetizing the hairspring at the center of your watch's beating balance. That is the heartbeat of your watch, and this is important because an erratic watch might be magnetized. It might run slow, it might run quickly, but magnetized watches will not keep good time. And if you suspect, due to erratic running, that your watch may have become magnetized, take it to a Zenith factory service center or authorized dealer where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize the watch. Shock and concussion, however, can cause more permanent damage. At a minimum, concussive activities can cause the watch to keep poor time. When the watch is keeping time poorly, it may run fast, it may run slowly, but it's suboptimal. However, concussion can also damage the case, undermine its water resistance, fracture or discharge sapphire crystals on both sides, and it may even stop the movement, necessitating expensive repairs. Therefore, Zenith recommends that you keep the watch disused during concussive sports such as batting, tennis, golf, or firearms marksmanship, and disuse the watch during concussive activities such as the riding of snowmobiles, ATVs, or mountain bikes. Ultimately, every fine timepiece requires a comprehensive service, and per Zenith, this should be done every 3 to 5 years. A good time to have the watch checked would be during your annual dry water test. If necessary, the service will include everything from replacement of worn straps to refinishing of the case to its factory appearance, restoration of water resistance, and cleaning, oiling, and adjustment of the movement so that it keeps factory timing tolerances. Service exclusively with the Zenith factory or authorized service agents, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, proper tools, and Zenith factory replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies can back all labor and parts invested with the Zenith factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts, including myself, who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of this or any Zenith fine timepiece.